Wake your ass up
or take a damn nap.
And we're the three best friends that anybody could have.
It's time.
Sean, you were twerking. That's going to happen.
Murph, don't be a dick all your life.
It's one of the more fun podcasts I've ever done.
Hey, I tell you what, if you're not talking about sports in the man cave, I bet not say you not a man.
That's it.
Hey, don't lose your composure. Don't panic. Play all 4 quarters. And I've been telling them that all year, and I told them I'm going to guarantee you're going to be successful. So to see them rally at the end and battle and pull that game off, man, it just speaks volumes about how resilient they are and how much they believe.
And here he is, the voice that you just heard. You briefly saw him, Jahmal Fenner, Sr., the head coach of the LBJ Jaguars, and more importantly, one of my brothers from another, and one guy that I respect 100%. Jahmal Fenner, we're here late on a Tuesday night. Man, that's your dedication. It shows you talking about LBJ football. That's my assumption, right?
Yes, sir. Always excited to bring some exposure to our program.
It's a pretty big deal for not only Austin ISD, the first appearance in a state championship game since 1973. And that's when your alma mater, Reagan, played the former John Tyler, and a running back named Earl Campbell played the last time AISD school played in a state championship. But first, before we dive into this, we got to give a shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Jim Saxton State Farm Insurance, homegrown, Westlake OG, a Longhorn legacy. For all your insurance needs, look up saxtoninsurance.com. Now, for Jahmal Fenner, LBJ, you have really built that program. You inherited from a guy that is all near and dear to all of us in the football community, not only in Austin, but the great state of Texas, Coach Jack. We lost him a few years ago, and you were his right-hand guy. How did you develop a program to the way it is now, since we lost him that really tough week and day when we knew he was battling cancer, and you took over, and now he's watching from above on what's going on?
Yeah, I just took everything that he taught me. He invested a lot of time in me. He believed in me. And so we would always meet and plan and prepare, and he would show me, some of the behind the scenes of what it takes to be a head football coach and an athletic coordinator. And so I just, soaked it up like a sponge. And that's what we do in this profession. And with being a lifelong learner, I took it and I applied it. And now I'm putting a little twist on it myself. And, it's like I said, it all comes from the morals and values of building relationships and making an impact on kids is the foundation. And then, I've always been a pretty sharp guy when it came to football.
Yeah. You played quarterback at Reagan and then played at UTEP. That's why it says below your name, UTEP minor for life. They're going to a bowl game, by the way. I know you're proud. Tell the folks who are even in Austin and around Texas, and whoever may be watching this or listening to this across the country, the East Side is a tight-knit community. And I know other football communities can say that, but it's a community which has battled hardship at times, very tight-knit families, very close. What has it been like, not only through this playoff run, but what you've noticed so far this week as we celebrate a state title appearance? And what has it been like? How can you articulate what it's been like for the East Side of Austin?
It's been special. Because this is something that our community has always wanted and it's always needed. And that's why I believe they're so passionate about LBJ sports. And it's always been a very high expectation to where, we can be criticized as well if we don't have the success that the community wants. And so this week has been so special because there's just been an outpour of love and support. And to be able to take this program to a height that it has never been before, I can just see the Jaguar pride and the Purple pride. Everyone's coming out, and they just showing a lot of love. So it's been special. and we're just trying to soak it all in.
It's fun. I see the smile on your face while you're, you've got to experience it because life goes by so quickly. But at the same time, you're trying to do the best to put all these kids and your staff in the right positions when you guys go up to Jerry World. You think about LBJ history. For me, you and I are old school. I'm older school. I mean, the lack of hair shows that. But we go back. Coach Jim Davis was, I believe, the OG head coach of LBJ.
Mm-hmm.
I think of names like, there's so many. The Alexander, Sean Mitchell, Demo Odos.
Yeah.
You played against some of those guys.
Yeah.
In front of a packed Nelson Field when LBJ and old Reagan would get together. When you think about that history and where you guys are now, is this for the past too? The past players and coaches?
Absolutely. And, Sean Mitchell is a big brother of mine. Him and my brother were very close friends growing up. And after that game, I just had a long message from him about, how proud he was and, how we was doing this for all the Jaguars and the former Jags in the community. And I got a lot of outpour of love. Shannon Crenshaw, I could name numerous guys that were big-time football players in LBJ history. And they just showing so much love and support. So definitely we doing it for all the former Jags, especially former athletes, former football players, because they put the time in and you invest so much in the sport. And so they got the pride and they definitely proud.
It's pretty amazing. I mean, I'm an Anderson guy, but we back then we really took a vested interest in all of our Austin programs, even when we hated each other on the field or in some type of competition, man, we wanted everyone to win. But when you look at this graphic right here, if I can put it up, there's 3 Austin area teams. You got you guys, Liberty Hill, Westlake, representing the area in Austin, in Arlington at Jerry. And of course, Shiner, they're considered in the area, even though they're like 90 miles away. But when you look at this, this may be a perspective moment. There's 3 great stories here. You, LBJ program, Liberty Hill, coach taking over for his brother who lost his life to cancer. And then there's Todd Dodge. You guys are very close as a coaching fraternity. Todd Dodge retiring, storybook ending. I mean, when you see this chapter of your coaching career and being a part of that, what you see on the screen, I mean, I can't describe it. How do you sum that up?
Well, it's just an opportunity of a lifetime that you never, imagine that it's going to happen this way. You just go to work every day and you put the time in and you try to, set your goals high. And but to be on this stage at this moment, with those coaches, with Central Texas football on the map, it's a very special moment. And I feel blessed and I'm thankful just to be able to have my name and my program to be a part of that. So it's definitely undescribable. You can't describe the feeling, but it's a feeling of joy. But at the same time, to finish it and win it all is going to be, even a better feeling. Your
opponent, you see right below the Jags logo, Stephenville. Story program. It went X amount of years without playoff appearances, but I think Art Briles comes to mind. What can you tell us about Stephenville other than what they have been in past in the history?
I mean, Stephenville is just a solid program. Their kids are big, they're physical, and they play hard. They're a good football team. But I feel like we've seen some teams that are very similar to them as far as, their identity and how they approach the game. And so I think it's a team that if we focus on us and we play all 4 quarters and our kids execute, protect the football, and fly to the football, make tackles and create turnovers, you're going to see the Jaguars hosting up their trophy at the end of that game. But a lot of respect for Stephenville and their program. They're undefeated as well, 15-0. And so I think it's going to be a great football game.
What does this do for football? You and I think we've had a conversation about this. High school football in the Austin area is on a much different level than when you and I were at Reagan and and Anderson. I mean, I know it's a lot of suburban football, but you look at the growth of it, and then you got South Oak Cliff from the inner city in Dallas, who's up there as well. Should this give more hope to inner city programs? Because let's face it, we really haven't seen a true inner city power make it consistently since, I want to say, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dallas Carter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it does. I think it gives an opportunity for us to showcase our programs in the inner city. And we put a lot of hard work and effort into our programs, even though we may not have the same resources and access as the suburban programs. But I think it's showing that you can have success at an inner city program, and you can win, and you can create a program that kids and people want to come, and play for you. And so, yeah, very excited for South Oak Cliff and then for the LBJ Jaguars for representing the inner city communities.
I'm not a big guy looking ahead type guy because I'm superstitious. And I don't like jinxing stuff, Jahmal, but to physically see the plaque and the trophy, I mean, I know you got to get this game planning done and actually beat Stephenville. There's a lot of time between now, but do you soak in each hour of every day leading up to this? And then have you even given thought? Because coaching is one game at a time, one day at a time, 1 minute at a time, one rep at a time. And it is true, and it's true in life. Do you and your players, your Jaguars, have you ever thought about the mental piece, what it would be like to bring that back home to Austin, Texas?
I think we thought about it, but to really know what that true feeling is going to be like and to do it, I think that's another story. But we're in that week, and it's like you said, it's 1 week at a time. And just like we've approached all the last 15 weeks, we approached it with confidence and believing that at the end of that game, we was going to be holding up that gold ball and we was going to be winning. And so that's our same approach for this game. Nothing changed. And that's not to say that we're going to win, but in our minds, we're going to win because we're going to go out and do the things that we need to do to win. And we've done that week in and week out for the last 15 weeks. So, yeah, the game has to be played, and that's what we understand. And we're not looking past Stephenville. We don't think that they're not a good opponent, but we feel like we're going to go out and we're going to do what we need to do to win the football game. And my kids, they locked in, and I'm excited about it.
Have you had conversations through prayer with Coach Jack? Or
Absolutely.
Felt his presence?
Absolutely. Felt his presence in that semifinal game. Man, it was amazing. And I just felt like, when we got down 2 scores and we just dug deep, and I could feel just his presence just come over me. And, my mom tells me all the time that some of my characteristics and some of the things that I say, it reminds her of Coach Jack. And I could feel myself in that moment. And Coach Sad, his brother, was on my sideline for that game. And he just said, man, you did so many things that remind me of my brother, and so it was exciting to be able to, to dig down deep and, know that Coach Jack, he's definitely on my mind and on my heart.
Yeah, he's still on all of our hearts who had vested interest, not only in for you guys, but people who love the great city of Austin and these kids and high school football in this area. And then if you're watching across the country, Andrew Jackson, the brother of Sad Jackson, both high school football coaches. Andrew Jackson passed away a few years ago. It was the head coach, LBJ, and Jahmal Fenner right here was pretty much his protege. They were inseparable, if you will. And now the story here, it's amazing. It's just, it seems like something that's supposed to happen in storybook. And I'm not trying to get too deep on the cliches here, but man, I am so proud of you guys. And I know I have to be objective, but I'm not. This is personal. And I hope you guys, what you've done for the city of Austin and AISD, man, for all of us who are AISD born and bred, man, there is so much love for you guys right now. And I hope you guys feel it.
We do. It's been an outpour of love all across the city of Austin. And we're so appreciative and we're thankful for the support.
Can't wait. Saturday, 11 a.m., Stephenville and the Fighting Jahmal Fenners, LBJ Jaguars, a very prideful community. And a lot of legends have come out of there in a short period of time because I think LBJ was opened up in the, 76, something like that. And there's been a long line of tradition there. First of all, Jahmal, thank you for making time for this, man. We can't wait for Saturday morning.
Yes, sir. Love you, brother.
Love you too, man. No doubt about that. That never wavers.
Yes, sir.
And all of our prayers are with your family too, no doubt.
You.
And for the OG Man Cave boys, that being Coach Mo, Big Mike, and Hardball Harge, and the LBJ, soon-to-be legendary coach, Jahmal Fenner, we are out.
You see the drippy, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and the giddy up.